That's a big fish. I need you. I really need you. Come here. You are big. You are big, big, big. Just wish you guys could see this fight. That's a big, big fish. Big fish. Big, 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 big.
Never get tired of hearing me say that. A lot of people think that's my frogfish down at Gunnersville, but it's actually a battle I was having with the biggest smallie I ever caught up in Wisconsin a couple of years ago at a kayak adventure series. Not that Liz didn't hear every word of my screaming about catching a 22-inch bass on a frog in the pads at Gunnersville.
Yes, she did.
But it wasn't as family friendly as that intro is, so I had to kind of clean it up and go with one we know. Welcome, everybody, to Gramps Live right here on the Fishing with Gramps YouTube channel, presented by the Rod Locker in Evansville, Indiana. If you're looking for the best trade-in program from like the former place that we used to know, the Rod Locker is up, filling up its inventory. Still the best used rod and reels around. Great place to trade in. If you've been running some stuff, maybe you found a rod that you really didn't care for, wasn't your style, didn't fit your style, and you don't want to just throw it on Marketplace for next to nothing. Hey, if you've got good quality gear, trade it in and trade up. Get you that next best thing. Also presented by, of course, Monster Bass. Been working with Monster Bass quite a few years now. Rick, Rafi, and the crew at Monster Bass, Grande Bass, First Contact, Tungsten, and of course, I would be remiss if I didn't talk about my boys down at Fish, Texas, Kayak Trailer, and honestly, the amount of the fishing fam out there now rocking the Fish, Texas Kayak Trailers, growing in numbers.
That's true. Almost everybody got one, right?
Huh?
Almost everybody has one.
Getting closer. I mean, you can't miss Miss Cairo and the Pink Panther running around. I mean, just you hear the theme song every time you see it. And of course, Emily came up, Freedom Squad, another one of our Freedom Squad family. Emily came up and picked up the giant T-Max, the double, the Fish Texas T-Max, because old Gramps needs to downsize. And if anybody's keeping an eye on the social medias, Nick actually tagged me in a new design because I'm going back to a mini. I'm going one kayak dude in the future when I get another kayak, but he's got a new design that he'll be launching here in the future. But he posted a little teaser of it and tagged me on it. But that thing sits low, and that's what Gramps needs now. I got to take it, even though I'm getting physically fit and better. I'm still dealing with the hernia and all that good nonsense, but I'm simplifying my life. I used to have the Old Town I had an Old Town PDL 120, which y'all never saw that one. That was my get out in places and not film and fish solo. That was my time with God and Mama. And then the PWR 129 is what everybody saw me rolling around with to all the Bassmaster events and the fish, the kayak adventure series and stuff like that. But this year we're going to simplify. We're going to pare it down. We're going to have a single kayak, and we're going to take it, we're going to take it a little easier. Obviously, when we get back on the water and kayak, we'll be boat and bank fishing for much of 2026. But there are plans in the works for my future adventures. But tonight's episode is not about me. It's about hooking up with my buddies at the Bassmaster Classic. And again, I got to throw back and thank Ralph for keeping in touch with me. I talk with the Freedom Squad folks. We all chit chat in the Freedom Squad chat like every day. A bunch of us in there like all the time. We are our support group. And if you're not a member of the Freedom Squad chat, just hit anybody pretty much in this chat up. And it's just the Facebook chat group that's associated with the Freedom Squad Facebook page. But Ralph and I both still work for the Army. He's active duty military master sergeant. And I, as you guys know, work for the Department of Army. So we have Microsoft Teams. And so Ralph is constantly checking in, every morning. Happy Monday, happy Wednesday. We all back and forth. But he's been last couple of months, BASSMASTER Classic. We're both life members. We need to go. And I'm like, I don't have any leave. I'm not strong enough. I'm not fit enough. I'm not ready enough. I don't trust my feet and ankles yet. I don't. Ralph's like, oh, just try. And I was like, you know what? I'll talk to Gran, see what she says. If she says my fitness level and her worry level is down low enough, I said, we'll make an attempt, because we waited. He already made housing arrangements and I hadn't, because I just wasn't expect to go. And I was on live with Debo. Turns out
I was there for that.
Our Canadian buddy from up north, who I actually met at this same classic a few years ago, when he ran down G-Man and enabled us to both get pictures with G-Man. But that's where Kevin and I met. And he saw me saying, hey, if I can find some place to stay, I'll come down for a day. Grant said I can drive down on a Friday and come home on a Sunday morning. If I can find some place to stay. Kevin messaged me and was like, hey, bro, I'm coming down from Canada, going to the Classic, going to fish in my kayak the week after. I got a 2-room Airbnb. You're welcome to the second room, free of charge. And I was like, oh, shit, now I got to go.
Clutch.
But talked to my wife. Obviously, she gave the blessing. She probably needed it, because she's been in eyeball side of me like for 9 months now. But we made it happen. So I drove down Friday, spent the night, got up bright-ish and early-ish Saturday morning, and went to the Classic. And, of course, ran into Ralph as soon as we got there. He was kind of waiting for me at the life member check-in desk. And then, wasn't that long before Corey and Jermaine come walking around, and it's like, bang, it's like the crew was together. And, of course, we now y'all asking questions in the chat. We got to let him get to that story. I got to build the suspense. He can't just be throwing the juice out, and we got to have something to talk about during the live. It can't just be me. I'm just catching everybody up in case you've been wondering where old Gramps has been the last 9 months. So we went to the Classic and had a blast. But Jermaine, kind of give me a walkthrough about you have a far longer drive than I do, but tell us what made you want to go to the Classic. How many times is this your first Classic? Kind of tell us your story of how you ended up at the Bassmaster Classic in Knoxville this season.
So that was my first Classic for sure. Honestly, it was kind of a mistake, and it just kind of happened out of nowhere. So God's honest truth, I got a second job, and it was for a Marriott hotel. And I started working at the hotel, and I work early mornings. So it was like 6 a.m. And all awkwardly enough, Corey worked overnight. So we'll literally be up at the same time. So I'm up at the job, and I'm doing my thing. And it was like maybe like a month before the Classic. And I'm like, wow, I get a discount at all Marriotts.
Oh.
Let me start. So I literally stopped working. I'm like, pull out my phone. I start scrolling. I text my boss. I'm like, how do I look at the employee pricing? So I look at the employee pricing. I'm like, hey, Corey, you want to drive? You got enough time to get off? And he was like, hold on, I'll ask my boss right now. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go ask my boss right now too. So I walked to the front desk. I'm like, hey, boss, I was just thinking, and can I go to Knoxville in like a month? And she was like, yeah, I don't care. And then she started helping me like book it. I'm like, oh, you got to do this, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, booked it. And then me and Corey just booked, but Corey got the green light too. And just like that, like a month before, we were just like, okay, I guess we're going to the Classic because it's not that expensive for us. So it kind of just worked out. But yeah, so we ended up getting down there. Met up with Mike and Amanda right away.
Oh, yeah.
And I think day 2, so we popped up with you. And yeah, it was a blast, dude. Always good to see you, my brother.
Dude. Yeah, it's I obviously I hated missing everything, last fall and everything, but I mean, for me, I really
that part about dinner.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But a lot of people. So somebody asked, what % of the expo would you think were content creators? Not nearly.
Oh,
it's
like
not like iCast.
No.
Classic is 99.995% anglers.
Regular folk.
It's regular dudes, families. I mean, you'll see content creators, and but I mean, realistically, I'm being honest, Jeff and Paul were the two that I saw running around the camera, working, and Bass Geek was doing some of the same. But even most of the time, your content creators, they're there as fans.
I was there as a fan.
Whether you're there for like the kayak championship, which I'm there for both. So you have the kayak championship leading up to the first day weigh-in of the boaters, but and then you have the boat derb going on, but you have thousands of people completely oblivious to either tournament because the expo is like it's like the World's Fair. It's like the biggest thing. So they always have stuff, you could walk by a TV screen and pop up and see like what's going on during the tournament. But for the most part, the expo, it's all dudes just like us, just bass fans, seeing all the stuff and things, seeing their favorite, bass anglers. Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It's like being a kid in a candy shop, but like the creators of the candy shop are also walking around it as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's nuts.
That's like the best way to put it. Because I was just walking around and I'm like, oh, that's Roland Martin. And there's a line of 5 people. Guess we're going to stop here for a second. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, wow.
I mean, it's funny because you'll see a lot of your favorite, YouTubers. You'll see a lot of like you said, KVD, Roland Martin, Christine Fisher. I mean, whichever side of the fishing or all the sides, you'll see. I saw Dustin Cannell, and of course, he's a major league fisherman, your MLF guy, but of course, his sponsors are at, the bass event. And so, I mean, like everybody is kind of there. It's
Alton Jones Jr. just breezed past me and Corey. I'm like, why does he look important?
Yeah.
I ran into Galvane.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's if you know anybody in bass fishing, you'd be like, oh, it was so funny, dude. I had a brain moment where I walk around the corner towards the 6 Cents booth and I see Josh Jones. Now, you're a 6 Cents guy, you know who Josh Jones is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, since he's not like a derb dude, you have to basically follow his Facebook page to know who he is.
Yeah.
And I was having a mental moment where I'm sitting here looking at this kid going, I know you. And I walk up to him and I was like, man, I know you. I said, you have to forgive me. I got brain fog going on. He's like, oh, I don't fish tournaments. So I was like, oh, I know you don't fish tournaments, but you're the dude who unlocked OHIV. He's like, well, that was me and Ben. And I was like, you are the one that I saw doing that.
Yeah, he did it.
And so,
I'm pretty sure
it's one of those things where, he doesn't want to be a celebrity, but the people who know who he is, I'm like, I was like, dude, listen to me. I don't fangirl over anybody. I said, you are one of my favorites that I follow on social media just because you're goofy ass and you have fun and you don't take shit from nobody.
And then he's a dog when it comes to fishing.
And he just catches. I told him flat out, I said, there's only one person in my lifetime that I will pay to go out on a boat and fish with. And I said, that's you. I said, one of these days when I get my everything right, I said, I'm going to hire you and come down and fish with you to try to catch a double digit. I said, you're the only one in this country that I would spend that money on to come do that. And he was like, oh, shit. And I was like, and I know everybody. I could go get on a boat with a lot of people that know me. I mean, Brett Ayler would probably take me out if I asked him to. There's a few people that I know enough. Ike and Ellie probably would. But I was like, you're the one dude that I would pay to go get in a guide trip from just to try to catch a double digit. And, but he's just that cool. But I mean, but that's the fun part of, that's the fun part about the Bassmaster Classic. If there's anybody out there that, I mean, you don't have to be pro bass or pro MLF or pro, any of that. If you like bass fishing, it's just something that you want to do at least once in your life because it's that cool. It's
I
like
don't
a
know if
big
I'll ever
family
not go
reunion.
again.
Huh?
I don't know if I'll ever not go again.
It's hard not to. I mean, it'd have to be
Yeah.
across the country, and I think next year it's in South Carolina or
South
somewhere,
Carolina, I'm going.
which would
Me
be
and
cool
Corey already
because
planning.
exactly. So I
We want to
mean,
do a house next year, so you're in on it, or you already know.
yeah, we got it. We got to definitely do that. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Get the whole gang.
But I guess I need to stop for a second here and see who all we got in the chat because we got a house full tonight. I know I
Mike
saw
made a little
Ruben.
funny
I know I saw
comment.
Trevor. I saw Mike and Amanda, who we'll get to talking about here in a minute. We saw Ralph. I saw Josh Lanham. My boy's been catching 20s down at Patoka. I need to go. I keep saying I'm only bank fishing this year. I need to go fish with Josh because he's like 45 minutes away on Patoka. And if we're going to be bank fishing, since that's what I'm stuck, I need to go see him. And then when I get the boat fired up, I'll pick him up and take him out on the boat. But I saw Steven in the house. And so we got all kinds of peeps popping in. But yeah, it's already fine. I saw Liz in here earlier. And of course, Nightbot is yelling at Ralph. But yeah, I mean it was an absolute blast. And so first, yeah, I saw Brendan first, and that was really cool. Doing his thing. I mean, dude, I was gonna say who knew? We knew.
Oh,
we knew Brendan was gonna be the dude and is gonna be the dude. Gotta show us the goods.
Yeah. This one TK did.
Actually, I need to grab too because
there it is. Like this kid's painting these.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that is fire. That would smoke for me up here, dude.
I saw it in the case. I was like, Brendan, let me get that right now.
Yeah. I got so tired out. I meant to go back and get some more from him too.
Yeah. And he's got his nice little.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. That pattern up here would be fire on Bog.
As I said, this is like everything. You know what I mean? This is like a little, it's literally like a little bit of everything. Really can't go
wrong. The last time when I ran into him in Texas, oh yeah, love those eyes too. But when I ran into him in Texas, you know me, I got to get my color, the old chartreuse black back. And so he did, and I still haven't fished with him yet. He's like, dude, you got to go catch fish with that. And I was like,
no, he yells at me too.
It's like I need to buy more so I can go fish with him because I don't want to lose the ones I have.
That's what I said. I'm going to fish these.
I'm going to honor him this year and catch one on my chartreuse black back because that is my juice.
And then this is one of his, but TK painted this one.
Oh, that crawl is sweet.
But it's Brendan made the bait. So
yeah. So Corey's in the house, bucktail fishing. Welcome in, bro.
What's up, my brother?
And then this one, I still have it.
Like literally like my best friend in life now.
Oh yeah. And then of course this one, and my goal last year was to catch a fish on one of these baits because I've still not done it. Not a mag draft, not a glide bait, but he made this, and my goal is to still. Now, am I going to throw this year? Probably not, because I got to see what bait.
I don't know if you could be setting the hook on that thing right now.
Exactly. So
you got to lean.
Yeah, with the crankbait, I might be able to turn.
Yeah, you could just like chill.
Yeah,
but that you need to.
But like a swim bait rod, a little heavier action. I figure if it's medium action and not as if it's medium power and not more than that, be there on a bait caster, I'll be all right. So maybe crankbaits, maybe a light chatterbait, and of course spinning rods, lightweight. Then maybe that's my goal. I can't really until I see what I'm like on the water, or maybe a little more bank fishing to see what I come up with. Here. But I'm supposed to test myself. Oh, dude, yeah.
That new Shindo on the back of that new 6th Sense.
Oh yeah. Is that their new bladed?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. I'm so far behind, dude. I don't know who's come out with what, except for like all the little fuzzy nuts.
Yeah.
All the fuzzy baits and
you know
all that
what?
shit.
Interestingly enough, I didn't even put this on social media. I didn't do nothing. Now that you're speaking about it, so 6 Cents did a surprise whatnot.
Oh wow!
So
they got one too, huh?
6 Cents has one, and I got 3 of them.
Oh, there you go.
So you can't get them anywhere. They said they're not going to drop.
What are they selling them for?
They were 20.
Yeah, that's about the going from what I understand. 20 to.
But they're the TPE.
Yeah.
You know. So
okay.
It's got the slightly different like phalanges on the end. Yeah, you can see a little bit. So slightly different motion, but we'll see. They did like a surprise whatnot. I was sitting in my room on a Monday, and it popped up, and I was like, "Oh, what are they doing?" And then he's like, "Look, we're doing this," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" So I got 3 of them. They didn't even come in like a. They don't even have like the product's not even made. They literally came in a bag like this.
That can't beat that. Well, and it's good too. They're probably going to put them in hands of people, get them out there catching fish on them, and see what kind of happens.
That's what he said. He was like, "I want you guys to go catch fish with them. Don't go resell them." He was like, "I can't tell you what to do, but go fish."
Yeah, I mean, they figure if somebody's going to join their whatnot stream, then it's probably a true 6 fan, and they'll respect what they ask too. So I'm a big fan of that too.
And they sold like 500 of them in like 7 minutes. It was crazy.
Yeah, it's a way to move baits. That is for sure. Vogel's saying that the retail on the 6 abstract will be $9.99. So hey, that's good.
Just got then.
Yeah,
I got to get them early. I hope not.
Well, that's the thing about live auctions. You don't get got if you got them early because people will pay. Let's see. Amanda's like, Gramps will go out and wacky rig all day, relaxing. That exactly. She knows. She knows. Yep. She knows.
Just watch the line go and just start.
I caught my first 2 fish of the year last Thursday on a Senko, just taking it easy, let it boop. Yep. You know, and I might have only posted a picture of one, but I made a little video that I'll edit after I get done. I'll get caught up here before too long, but yeah, I've still got my test for work coming up here in a couple of weeks, so I'll be back. I'll be back hiding off of social media over the next couple of weeks. I'll do a little bit of editing here and there on a weekend, but yeah, the goal is to get that done and then get out and get to, bank fishing and go see some people. And I need to get my boat serviced and batteries charged. It's been sitting up on the hill for the last 2 years. So
well, clean up.
Yep.
It'll be good to go.
So, tell me, what was your favorite thing that you saw at Classic, or kind of go through and, what caught your eye? What got you excited to come back for next time? Let's talk a little bit about the expo before we talk about dinner.
So the biggest thing I'll tell everyone about the expo is if you go to the Classic is bring money, bring a good chunk that you got to spend, and not even like a bad way. It's not even like it's like a sales gimmicky thing. It's really good sales.
Yeah.
It's like real, like they had the Veritas rods. I don't know if they were like, I think it was the last model, but still they were like $130 rods for $50 each.
Yeah.
And I saw like a bunch of spots like that. They were like, oh, $150 rods for $50.
Yeah.
Then this one spot downstairs was like $20 Daiwa spinning rods, or like $30. And this one dude was like, yeah, I'm a guide. I'm going to take 30 of them.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, I'm a guide. I know they're decent. It's Daiwa. Like my clients just use spinning rods. I'll put 5 in the boat, wait till they break, buy 5, and then pull out 5 more. I'm like, dude, that's crazy. But they had a bunch of good deals. We got a bunch of baits before they came out. Meeting the pros was amazing.
Yeah.
What else was great about the expo?
I didn't buy a single thing all day.
You didn't? Oh,
not a thing.
You're better
Ralph
than me.
was like, you're not going to get anything. It's like, I don't need anything, bro.
You're better than me.
I was like, I don't know what I'm going to be able to do or not do. So I'm like, I'm not just going to buy stuff to buy it. Just
I hear you on that, though.
I hear you on that. Damn thing.
I hear you on that.
Yeah.
I bought a few things. Probably should have got some more, but it's all right.
Yeah. Yes, you did, Michael. You bought a holster. Don't think I don't remember.
Yeah, okay.
Or
this guy.
I
walked around with Mike. I'm not gonna put him on blast. And you know what the
Ralph
worst
said he
part
spent
about
about
it is,
500.
So the funniest thing is, you know who I am going to put on blast? Amanda's getting put on blast right now. So most guys, you would never in a million years be like, oh yeah, I'm going to bring my wife with me to the expo at the Classic. You would never do that. She's worse than Mike.
Oh yeah, she was looking for her special color Senkos in bulk. She ain't playing around.
She goes,
hey,
oh,
she works hard for the money. Oh. And she she damn sure don't mind spending it.
Definitely work hard, play hard.
Yep.
Sorry about the background noise. It's one of the first nice days in New Jersey, and people don't know how to act.
Everybody driving around.
Yeah.
I don't. If somebody drives by my house, it's one of like two people who like live here. Not a whole lot of people on my road. But yeah, we actually had a blast, and then we went out for a nice dinner afterwards. And realistically, I mean, that's one of those things because Ralph had to take off. He had a friend that he was running off with, and it actually turned out that his buddy was the mentor of the Nuts, the two brothers. The one brother won the kayak classic, and then the other brother, because one's in college and one skipped college, but they both ended up winning the classic in each of their perspectives. So one won the big dog, and then the other one won the classic. But Ralph was actually hanging out with their mentor, who works for the Department of Tennessee Natural Resources. So I found my way back to the main expo building after I kind of went down. I went as far as I could possibly walk on the other expo because that's where John B was. And oddly enough, I ran into John B and sat with him for about a half an hour because he was working the Lund Boats booth. And when I walked by, the angle that I came around the boats, I just saw a table and chairs. And so I'm like, oh, there's the table and chairs. I'm going to go sit my ass down and rest my dogs. And I go sit down. I'm playing on my phone, and then I hear the voice. And I'm like, oh, that's John B. And he's sitting there talking. And then turns out the table I was sitting at is the table that he had like dumped his phone and keys and everything on.
That's funny.
And he gives me the, hey, Gramps, watch my shit. And I'm like, he just called me Gramps.
Yep, he knows.
Now, I hadn't met him in person, I don't think ever. I was, like I said, I was just sitting there. Ended up, he's doing the whole fan meet and greet, chilling with everybody else. I'm just sitting there resting. And then I ended up giving him a GoPro, a charging cable so he can charge his phone. I was like, dude, just keep it. I got 1 million of them. But it was kind of funny. So after that, I made my way back to the expo and then caught back up with you guys and went to dinner. And, that was...
I had the voice thing happen with B-Lat. I didn't get to talk to him, but I was on one side of the boat and I heard the voice and I'm like, what? Why do I feel like I know who that? And I come around the boat and I'm like, and I just tap Corey. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my boy, bro. And we stood there. He was talking to somebody for like 20 minutes. And I'm like, all right, I'm gone. He got it. I was like, I'm not going to sit here and wait that long. But
it's so cool because, I mean, just, the guys that we see all the time and like anybody else, that they're just regular folks like we are. They just, they do this full time, whereas we do it for fun and all that too. But, it was kind of funny where the last time I was there, Bill Dance knew who I was. And I almost wonder if that's like a Steve Chapman kind of thing, because Steve and Bill Dance have known each other for decades. But when I got to talk to Bill Dance, it was like, me, I was like, okay, this is my dude, and a lot of people, say that. And it's like, I've watched this dude for like my entire life and I'm not a young spring chicken, but I love the fact that so many people know who Bill Dance is and how long he's been around. And he reminds me, his mannerisms and even appearance in some ways reminds me of my dad. And it's just, if you see pictures of both of them, they'd be like a spitting image next to each other. But of course, Bill being from Tennessee, just a, nice, easy draw. and very laid back. That's, it's always awesome, but that makes it fun being around, like you say, just hearing those voices and you're like, oh, hey, I know who that is.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Says Jermaine looked like a hunting dog on alert. Yep. But yeah, and then we went out and had a really nice dinner, and I bet we sat there probably for a couple hours just talking about everything, because we were getting the juice from Mike, which we won't discuss because I'm going to have him on next week. Be sure to tune in next Monday night, folks. We're going to be joined by Bassmaster Classic champion angler, fished in the Big Derv in his kayak. Michael Ridenauer is going to join us next week, and maybe we can talk Amanda to getting in the camera too. You never know. But we had a good time with them, had dinner, and had good conversations. What'd you think about dinner?
It's what it's what it always is, man. It's the family.
Yep.
This was special. We got you back, which was very important. I won't share everything I said with you, but the one thing I will share is you went through something crazy to keep it light, and you got another shot. So let's ride. That's it.
Yes, sir.
I'll keep it light.
Yeah,
I'll keep it light. But that's pretty much what the conversation at dinner, was mostly.
Yeah, because it's like I tell people I don't think I was so much depressed, because when you say that, then that leads to a topic of like mental fitness and things like that. And maybe someday I will admit, the thought of me not being able to fish, it broke me a little bit. And it's sad to say, after everything that I've been through, I didn't think about not being here, or it's just like I assumed when I came out of it, I thought I was okay. It wasn't until months after Grand was like, you weren't okay.
Yeah.
You haven't, and it took months for me to kind of get like the mental brain power back. So, I buried myself in other things that I could kind of like focus on, because it kept me driven. So I started another channel and started playing with sports cards and, dove into sports. Jermaine, I tell you, I mean, we both love sports as it is, Pacers, Knicks, so, Syracuse and Indiana, football, basketball. It's like all my things, but it was something that kind of kept me sidetracked. And I hate even admitting this. I unfollowed on like the socials, like all of the fishing pages and Instagram pages. Now, people's personal accounts, obviously, I still kept, because you're my peeps. But like, Chad Hoover fishing, Wendell fishing, Hellabass, everybody I unfollowed. I didn't want it in my feed every day.
Yeah.
And because I was a whiny little pouty, because I can't go fish.
Yeah.
But I needed something else to distract me, and that's what I did. But, leading up to this, now I'm like, got to go find a channel and follow and subscribe, and, because I want that back in my feed. I wasn't on my Fishing with Gramps channel for months. You know what I mean? So I was playing with my other account, and that's where I was spending my time, and that was my focus. But thanks to Ralph and then you guys and our long discussions over dinner, it literally brought this back to life, because this whole studio was completely gone. It was in a box, literally in a box. I put it up on a wall in the garage one time for a live with Debo. And after we got back, this whole studio came back up and stuff on the walls, and, it's back, because it wasn't for a long time. But I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to. And, I've stayed a part of the Freedom Squad chat this whole time.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I needed to talk to my peeps. But it's like, Liz would call me and be like, hey, I'm going to hit the water today. You want me to go live while we're out here just so you can look around? And I was like, I said it. I was honest, with Liz. I was like, it still hurts, but send me fish pics. And so that's what she did. She was out fishing and she sent me pics. But once we got to the Classic and kind of got then I was like, okay.
Flowing again. You felt
it was one of those things. And my wife knew this, like, oh, you're talking about selling all your shit and this and that. She knew that, I would only sell 90% of it. And then, it is what it is. But I just had to down because I didn't want to look at my whole garage was just full, and everybody that was in my whatnot streams watching me just baits, go.
Yep.
I had so much shit. But again, like Michael said, it's all about God's plans and kind of getting back with you guys down there, getting into the lives again. It helps.
Yeah.
Because we always talk about fishing being therapy. And I've always said in the past that fishing is therapy, but for other people, for Matt, who is an OEF veteran, been to war, for like guys like my brother who, suffered from poisoning down at Fort McClellan. And for me, it's always been about everybody else, my sons who are disabled veterans as well. It's always about everybody else. It's never about me. My therapy has been helping other people. And this year, fishing is my therapy with my people.
There you go.
Because we are part of that fam. So, all that being said, if not for you guys, and poor Gran, she's had to endure me like every night for she still, I'm telling on you, dear, she still won't go back to her nest because she has to stay within earshot of me. And eventually, because I have my man cave, she has her nest, but in between that is our dining room. And so she literally has a computer monitor and a chair sit at our dining room table because she won't yet move back to her nest. No matter how much I try to get her there, because she still wants to be able to hear me, whatever I'm doing back here. And then she'll spend time back in here too. But I think after she let me go on the road, she'll eventually get there. But
there you go. Slowly but surely, brother.
Yep. So what was the kayak you were fishing in last year?
So I was fishing out of what is it? An Attack, the Wilderness Attack 120.
Okay, and you're how tall?
6'5".
6'5". You're a big dude.
Yes, sir.
You're a long-legged dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I was definitely a little tight squeeze, but it was all right. I made do.
Yeah.
I got a W in it.
Yeah. Paddling. I mean, people always used to ask me when I weighed like 340 pounds how I fished in that Old Town 106 PDL instead of one of the bigger ones.
Yeah. It'll work.
What I had.
Yeah, it'll work.
It floated me.
Work. I mean, I definitely pushed it to
wait,
weight.
Let me address that. Oh no, my brother. I found not only do I still get the monthly monster bass that Rick sends me every month, I found a tote that was full of the stuff that was in my kayak that was prepared to go to Minnesota, rigged and ready. I had a fully loaded kayak and black pack. So the boys took and emptied the stuff out of my kayak into a tote. And so, honestly enough, after all of those whatnot streams, and I was cleaning out my garage a few weeks ago,
you're still decent.
I found this tote of like tons of jackhammers, Neds, Senkos, all this. Juice. I thought I had sold like everything because I was like, you know what? I'll just get whenever I get back to it, I've still got monster bass stuff coming in. And you know me, I'll pick up a couple chatterbaits, a couple Senkos.
Crazy.
I get what I need. I am completely ready to fish, and even didn't think, and that's after 5 complete whatnot streams that ran about 90 minutes a piece, and I don't know, a couple of thousand baits sold. So I don't need anything back. I'm good. I just needed to pare down a little. I've got plenty. So anyway, back to Jermaine and his little kayak. I was going to say little canoe, little.
They're talking smack about me. They said, Trevor said, don't forget it's also a paddle.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
Steve said, ha ha ha, a leaky paddle kayak. That it was. So I was actually pushing it.
Sly Fox is in the house.
Wow,
What's up,
there go my
Sly?
boy Sly. What up, brother?
That's it.
But I was actually pushing it to the weight capacity, which I found out after, like, I didn't realize it until like maybe like day 3 of Gunnersville, because I think so. Day 1, my kayak filled up with water, and I felt it to the point where it scared me, and I was like, "Oh no, we can't do this again." So day 2, we woke up, dumped all the water out of it, and I called Chad right away, and I was like, "Hey, brother, I might need a kayak. You said call if you need it. I'm gonna go fish. I'm safe. I'm with Corey." And he was like, "Yo, do me a favor, share your location with me if you don't mind." And I was like, "Yeah, no problem." Shared it with him for the rest of the day. And I was like, hey, here's where I'm at. I'm good. So that day I filled up again. So I kind of found out. So the weight, I weigh 250. So where I was sitting in the kayak, my butt was sitting, and then all my stuff in the back, my butt was sitting down. And then where they put the latch, which doesn't make any sense to me, but they put the latch to like the bottom hole. And the water was like sitting like maybe like 2-3 inches like that, but then the seal was like that, so it was like sitting above it, and I think the water was trickling in slow because I was over the weight capacity. So I'm out of that though. Don't have to deal with that.
So you got a birthday present.
I did.
I
got the best birthday present.
Tell us a little bit about your birthday present from so let me back up a little bit, because the Fishing Fam, we've been around for a while. We pay it forward and around.
Yes, sir.
I remember giving Sly a kayak. It's been a few years ago when he came to the I think we met it with, I think it was the Indie Boat Sport and Travel Show years ago. And then I'm sure he's probably rolled that to somebody else that needed. And then last year, our Freedom Squad buddy Matt Kreitz, who we haven't seen for a while, and we'll have a live down the road to discuss that when he can get back, because he's had some issues he's dealing with. He's good. He's just taking care of family stuff. And our good friend Michael, when he got an upgrade, passed on a beautiful. I sent Michael home with a bona fide XTR last year at Dale Hollow, and then coming home, I brought back the, don't remember which. It was one of the bigger.
PWR.
No, it was one of the paddle. Michael, what was it? You'll have to tell me, because I don't remember. It was like the version before, like the Hammer from
a Slayer.
Maybe the bigger one, the Titan.
Oh, the Titan. Yeah, the Titan.
So he hooked up the Titan. Yeah, he hooked Matt up with a Titan 12.5, because Matt was still in a little bitty boat paddling. So Amanda said he had the XTR over 6 miles an hour with the NK. Holy shit. That's a big motor. So I'm assuming you got the new NK 300.
Yeah, that's moving.
But yeah, so he hooked Matt up with the Titan last year. Then of course he's working with New Canoe this year. He's in the New Canoe, the big dog. And then he hooked you up with a kayak for your birthday. What'd you end up getting?
So I got the New Canoe Unlimited.
Unlimited. There you go.
Yeah, the Unlimited.
That's a little more room.
Oh yeah, it's stupid. So I have them sitting right next to each other right now.
Yeah,
leaned up against the fence. It's crazy. It's
crazy. It's like me standing next to you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts. I'm like looking at it and I'm like, how did I fish out of that thing? It's like I'm literally looking at it. I'm like, dude, my big self fit in that? It doesn't even make sense, but this year is going to be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you know, but I got blessed with an XI3 too.
Oh, hey, yeah, that's a good call right there.
I have the XI3 sitting in the closet.
Yeah.
So and then when I stopped at Mike's to pick it up, the Unlimited, he actually found the front mounting plate. So all I got to do is just plug and play.
Oh, shoot, yeah, dude. Can't beat that.
So, and I got the remote.
I think Matt's got the XI3 and the battery from the PWR I had. And actually, I think I ran that on the XTR for a while too. But I've discovered over time, for me, like I like the river fish as well. I see Mrs. Sly Fox in the chat as well.
What's up, Gina?
But I'm assuming that they got done with their live. But welcome Gina to the chat as well. And I see Michael Bradley and Corey, everybody in there. But yeah, I did the same thing. The XI3 and battery I had is what Matt ended up putting on his, and that's what he had down at the national championship. So I think that's going to stay on that boat. And then, you know, whenever I get around to getting another, you know, doing another build, I'll just do another NK300 because I fish enough rivers that I like to be able to have that extra juice.
Yeah.
Because even though I'm trying to get smaller, I still want to be able to break the currents, and you know, you can't always.
I was watching Bailey's video before I got on with you.
Yeah.
And he literally got into a spot where it was on a river system, and he was like, something I never even thought about. And he said they were dumping like 32 something per hour.
Yep.
And he said he was able to make it up the river when it was under 22. But when he launched, they like at the same time that he launched, they turned it up to 38.
Yep.
So his spot where he found all these giant smallies, he literally shows himself trying to go up and he's just stalemates.
Yep.
He drops his pedal drive and tries to go up. And then on the turnaround, the current almost flipped him.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like,
he's got a front motor, doesn't he?
I know. I think he's got the smaller NK in the back.
Oh, so he might have the 180.
Yeah.
So I mean, and I actually put my NK300 to here on the White River where we fish for smallies about an hour west of here. We get like that where there's real current bends and the current really picks up. And when I was able to blast up through that, and I mean, it was cooking. When I was able to blast up through that with the PWR and that NK300, I was like, that's why I bought this motor.
See, I never thought about anything like that because we don't even like everything I fish is like a big lake. I think Zor has a current that they'll turn on every now and then, but it's not like I was paddling in it and I was paddling and I stalemated because I got tired. But I was still making way. So it wasn't that bad, you know?
Yeah.
But
and see, for me, I probably would never have given up my Old Town Autopilot, except for I caught in a situation where I was out fishing with my brother and a buddy one day, and I kind of got around a current corner, and then I was trying to get back up, and I'm sitting here with the autopilot on 10 and paddling as hard as I could, and just barely got back up. And I was like, I need to look at different options. And that's kind of when I ended up going to the PWR the first time. I was like, this NK300 is going to be my juice. So that way I know I'm never out of, never going to get caught like that again. Cause I mean, back then being a bigger guy, bad shoulder, and only can paddle so much, and I thought the same thing for my brother because he still got a busted chicken wing as well. There's no way he could paddle if he had to fight like that too. So with him being 50 pounds lighter than I am, being able to really crank that NK300 up, or, they have the Torpedo 1108s or 3s, whatever it is.
Yeah. Now I feel like we got something crazy.
Yeah. That it's basically like the equivalent of a 3 horsepower motor. So yeah, you hit that.
Yeah.
So it makes it fun.
A video like a freaking little motor on the back of a kayak, and he was like, the future of kayak fishing. And I was like, oh my God, they're gonna put a speed limit. Like Chad's gonna put a speed limit on it eventually.
Well, they have like there are limits in Bassmaster and KBF right now. I don't think we've reached them yet, but I mean, I think it's.
Are they there though?
Huh?
Are they there though? Like, there's like something that says like you can't go over 10 miles an hour in your kayak or something.
I don't think right now it's by miles per hour. I think it's about how much power that puts to the motor. Even though they're making the motors, the brushless motors, and they have more juice too. So yeah, Michael is saying it's about like 3, and that's what I thought it was around 3 horsepower.
There you go. So that makes sense. Because that's what I was trying to tell my boy. I was like, dude, you can't number one, the kayaks aren't rated for anything over that. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So like you shouldn't. Can you? I've
seen I've seen people with little outboards on the back of XTRs, which is
That's
funny.
what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like, you know,
them boys are cooking.
they'll do whatever, you know, they'll do whatever they want. But okay, which the NK300 Max is out.
Yep.
Okay, so there it is.
So with your, do you fish a lot of rivers, lakes, or is it a kind of a combination of both?
So mostly lakes, but like,
okay. So
I guess
you're unlimited
like
with the you're unlimited with the XI3 will be perfect then. So.
Oh yeah, I'm golden. I'm golden.
Yeah,
golden.
you will be good to go. So yeah,
golden.
that'll be fun.
Like I'm gonna do the Susky this year. I'm gonna do the Susky.
Okay, yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
And,
like
and even with the Susky, take your smaller one when you do that, because you're probably going to spend most of the time tethered to it anyway and walking around, because it can get pretty. Oh,
yeah, I think I have a problem. I think I'm gonna get in the unlimited and never want to touch the other one again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you, but like I said, a lot of places, you know, if you fish above the dam at the Susky, depending on where they go, the water's deeper and all that. But down there where Michael and all those guys catch the giants, basically you're tethering your kayak to your back belt loop and walking around, and it's basically just your floating tackle box. You could probably have people get away with taking float tubes and calling it a kayak, but you know.
Amanda, that just means you might win it. That's why you got to enter it.
That's what I'm saying.
Amanda said it's her birthday weekend.
Yep. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing the Susky again too, because you know that's just one of those magical places. So I can.
So as much as you talk about it, so this is one thing that will make you sick, and I'm sorry.
No, bro, I'm here for it now.
I live 3 hours away.
Oh, I live like 12 away, and I just want to be there.
I've never been there.
Yep. Got
Corey's worse than me. What up, Malone? Corey's worse than me. He's never been there, and he lives like 45 minutes away.
Oh my god. That's closer than it is for me to go to Boggs.
Yeah.
So that's like my home water. Oh my goodness. The Susky is
it might not be like the most magical or the best part of the Susky that everyone talks about and rants and raves about, but 45 minutes from Corey's house is the Susquehanna.
Yep. And there's so many kayak anglers there that you could probably hook up with. I mean, it's just I mean, it's just one of those cool, I
gotta go. That's where we're going this year. We're going to the Susky and we're gonna go to Cayuga.
There you go. Shoot, yeah.
Both of them are 3 hours from me.
Shoot, yeah. Michael loves that place because he's caught some of the bigs that are out there. And of course, I'm still on my quest for a 20-inch smallmouth. So, you know, I still have goals that I got to meet.
I think I've caught a 20-inch smallmouth.
Huh?
I think I've caught a 20.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, Josh Lanham, who was in the chat earlier, he's caught one from the bank right down the road from me on Patoka, which I'm going to spend more time down there. But he caught one on throwing that, you know, that urchin hag or whatever. I don't know all the different names of them. But yeah, he caught a 20-inch smallie down there already this year. Oh my God, that is so amazing. Yes, sir.
That one was like 20 and some change.
I have caught 1975 3 times. That's
pretty sure that one.
That is incredible. But yeah, I gotta be careful.
It's like a month from now, too. May 18th of 23.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I'm going back to that spot though.
Yeah.
I know exactly where it is too. Pat was there the other day. My boy Pat was there the other day.
Yeah.
He went out for the first time this year at the good spot.
There we go. Gina said that maybe the baits that she won for me will help her catch a smallie this year. So that'd be awesome.
There you go.
And don't forget, fishing fam that's paying attention out there, the jitterbug challenge is still on. Y'all made me fish a frog. I want to see everybody out there grabbing a jitterbug and catching a fish on it this year.
A jitterbug. I don't know if I've ever fished it.
I know. That's what Cairo said too. Sly Fox is like, oh yeah, I've caught 1 million on that thing. And Cairo had never thrown one before, so she's been out there trying as well. but that's one of those baits that my grandpa had me and my brother throwing when we were little, just because it would stay on top of the water and, you know, wouldn't get snagged and everything.
Yeah.
But that, you know, right there when, oh, Michael says he's got a giant jitterbug fish. He'll send us a pic, 7-pounder. Of course.
Of course.
Michael has all the big fish.
Yeah.
And if Cairo's out there, 0 sugar. I'm still. I gave up sodas for like 2 years, but I have to drink, you know, something carbonated here and there just because all the pollen and crap jacks with my throat. So I kind of use it to cut it out. So generally I get the smaller can. So I'll drink about half of this and then pour the rest out, but kind of helps me with my poor allergies. Michael says 200 days a year on the water helps. Well, yeah. That would do it.
I'm working. I'm cooking something up now to try to get to really take a nice uptick to my time on the water. And if I can execute this plan well, then I should be able to get a nice uptick on the water. But
there you go.
That's life. Life's all about execution, you know. So
oh yes, sir. I mean, you know, we all work and, you know, do what we can when we can. But that's
it.
You know, and I'll be the first one to tell you now, because I used to, you know, you guys have watched me build the channel for the last, you know, 5-6 years. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time on the water, and then you know, going a whole 9 months without catching a fish.
Tough.
I'll tell you all what. I about started crying last Thursday.
Yeah.
Because it had been that long.
When you cut your video, I said it. I was like, "Ooh, I think he let out a few good tears right there." And honestly, bro, like same thing with my knee, because I blew my knee out like to start the fishing season.
Yeah,
like bro, it was like lining up so perfectly. Like I remember I went out that Friday. I went out after work, smashed them. This was like. When did I blow my knee up? I think it was the first week of April or the second week of April, like 2-3 years ago. And yeah, I went out that Friday, smashed them. Went out that Saturday, smashed them again. Like 2-3 pounders, just nothing but 2-3 pounders. And then I went out on Sunday and I caught 2 5-pounders. I was like, yo, and I had it all on footage. I'm like, bro, this is great. Oh man, this is about to be the year. Everything's gonna take off. I'm about to join online tournaments. I went and played that basketball game. I went knee to knee with some old dude and blew my knee up. And then I was like, oh my god. And they were like, yeah, you're not gonna be able to you'll be able to walk by the summer. And I'm like, oh. So I don't think. I mean, I went fishing. I was not medically so I told my doctor, I was like, oh yeah, doc, by the way, I went bank fishing, and his eyes, he was like, you what?
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought you said I was, and he was like, dude, no, you shouldn't. I was like, oh, maybe that's why my knee was on fire when I got home. But
you know, speaking of which, dude, one of the things that for me, one of my therapeutic things is shooting free throws.
Yeah.
You know, I just like for an hour, you know, here and there, just
every game I lose. Every game I lose. I'm a sore loser. I go shoot free throws.
One of the things I can't do until I get my hernias repaired is I can't really do anything up over. So, you know, that whole motion of just going through my Steve Alford, you know, just dribble. Yeah, I can't
not
lift
healthy right now.
I can't do, you know, so that's, you know, it's just like, and I've never been, I say this over and over again. You should have seen my face. I look like a kid who did not get what he wanted for Christmas when I went for my checkup last, like in December, because I'm thinking, hey, it's my 6 months checkup. You know, I've been recovered, and
I'm good.
You know, they told the dude scared the shit out of me when I went for my checkup. He takes his hand and puts them on my pecs and shoves me into my chair. And he's like, oh yeah, that chest is healed up real nice. Them titanium plates are holding up, and I'm shitting my pants. He just shoved my chest after I've been babying it for like all this time. he scared the, but that's what he did was he was letting me know
you're good.
that my the plate had healed. And then I didn't even know I had titanium plates. There was so much shit they didn't tell me. But he was letting me know by scaring the living shit out of me that my chest was healed, right?
Yeah.
So
that's nuts.
The next month, I have my follow-up with my hernia doctor. And I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm going to find out when my date is. I'm going to find out when I'm going to get this shit fixed. And she broke my heart. She's like, oh, no, hun, we can't do any elective surgeries. And at this point, it's an elective surgery until you've been on your blood thinners for a full year. Bro, I thought I was out in the car. I'm sure I probably made a video out in the parking lot. But I'm like, oh, my God, I'm not going to be able to get my hernia surgery till this fall. Now, we're 9 months in. As I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I'm almost to the year anniversary of all of this going down. And then, this fall, then I should be able to start, hey, we can get the plans and stuff and things. So, now that I've kind of got it in my head that at least I can go bag fishing. I caught a fish, that helped.
You beat me.
Oh boy, did that help.
You beat me this year.
But I mean, it's like, I know I can't do the susky and dragging the kayaks and, I still got to be careful, but I know within limitations, I'll be able to do what I need to do. So it's one of those things where as I've healed and getting better, but honestly, I'm glad we started doing the lives again because I needed to spend time with y'all back here.
That's more about you
back here. My channel was dead, dude. I mean, I was getting like, still no views because you don't upload, the algo is like, oh, he doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, that's me right now.
Let me throw this out there for the fish fan that's still here. I think we still got 22 in the house, which of course we have 22 because that's our number. But if y'all would if you're bored or if you're going to work, throw up the old Fisherman Gramps YouTube channel, throw some playlists up and try to drive some traffic back. Let YouTube know I still exist. I'm going to start making some videos, but we're going to change it. Yeah, Michael Bradley says I'm Terminator now. That's literally Hunter. He drew a picture after I got done, at the hospital, and it was like Iron Man with my face on it because he heard that they replaced a valve. So he's like, oh, you got mechanical parts. You're Iron Man. It was never such a funny blast as like, hey, bro. It's not even iron. It's titanium. I'm like the freaking Terminator. So I'm waiting for the next cartoon to come out with my face on the Terminator now that I have titanium plates because I could probably take a 22 round in the right location. Not that we're going to try, but I got titanium on the inside now. So
right.
But yeah, I mean,
that's not the worst thing to be able to do.
But I mean, dude, he pushed me up against that chair. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to kill me. But he started laughing. Then he pulled up the x-rays and showed me the plates and all that stuff. So it kind of helped me out. But knowing that, I'm healed and this part of my life is fine.
Yeah.
And now when I get my lowers done, but that being said, like you and I talked about for the show, at least I can go get on the elliptical for 30 minutes. I mean, I set a new PB today. So 30 minutes, I ain't going to be able to walk tomorrow. But we got the work in, so
that's it.
I got my knee brace, tuned up, tightened up, and feeling good, and was able to get a good workout in today. So I'm going to start slowly. I have to do like isolated lifting, so I got a 15-pound dumbbell, so I'll do curls, and then but I got to be careful. Like my doc said, I was like, "What's my limitations?" And she's like, "Until it hurts," and I'm like, "Really? Until it hurts?" But yeah, she says, if you feel, then stop, and then back off. So I'm going to start working on, I've lost like all muscle except for, my goal is to start with my legs, obviously. And then start building up, muscle throughout until I can, because through eating and dieting and things like that, I've been able to keep the weight off. But now it's time to build some muscle to help support my frame so that I can start, so I can start fishing again. I see Mike Kayak Fishing's in the house. But so we're getting there. But again, I wanted to get the live streams going. I've got I've got the last video because I sorted through my footage from some different events and things that I had to edit, but I'm gonna launch a video probably this weekend. Keep an eye out for it. And then it's gonna launch the return of Fishing with Gramps, because this video, along with one other that I did with the folks that I was with, are very special and important to me. So Fishing with Gramps will literally be Gramps with his babes in a creek.
There you go.
And that was my last fishing trip of 2025. And honestly, that was the best fishing trip I had all year. And I'll let you see why when I drop that video. And then we'll get into, shooting some stuff and things, and then get out and do some fishing. I'm not going to do a ton of like reviews and all that stuff. I am going to do a walkthrough of the rod locker just because I want people to see what the new spot looks like. And yeah, but we're gonna get back to being fishing with Gramps instead of rods and reels and baits and blah blah blah. We're gonna go fishing. So
that's what I'm focused on too, dude. I'm
yeah,
just gonna go fishing. Like I'll do a little bit of showing off what I get here and there, but I'm just gonna try to. I know we've said this a couple times, but I kind of want to lead towards like the Greg Blanchard style, where it's just come 100%. With me.
Yep,
just come with me. I'm fishing. Come with me. Hey, by the way, today's a tournament. Come with me.
Yep.
Hey, today's a personal challenge. Hey, today's a challenge with the boys. Hey, I'm just fishing today.
Yep.
Come with me.
Now the funny thing is, I think 2.5 years ago, Fluke Master and I had a discussion about Starlink, and talked about it. And then he did it. He was doing it mostly on TikTok for a while, but I've seen some other folks run with that idea as well. So I'm glad to know that I was thinking on cutting edge.
So it's so interesting that you guys do that, because like where I'm at now, I don't need Starlink.
Yeah.
So ever since I first somebody brought it up to me like 2-3 years ago. They're like, "Oh, hey, can you live stream from a lake?" And I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "Why don't you?" And I was like, "All right, I'll try it." And I did it a couple times. Every now and then I would do it like on Saturday or Sunday morning. I'd like leave my GoPro and be like, "Oh, I forgot my GoPro."
Yeah.
Oh, well, I just drove an hour to the lake with my phone charging. So the first 40 minutes I'll just go live. But it's so interesting because you guys are all like Starlink, Starlink, Starlink. And I'm like,
I'm in rural enough areas. I mean, it's like I lose cell signal for like 30 minutes on my drive home. So that's out here, unless you're closer to one of our towns, because we don't have cities, we have towns.
Yeah.
Unless you're closer to one of them, you don't signal is spotty. So I couldn't. I mean, if I lived someplace like when I lived up in Indy, oh yeah, I could live stream up there because there's cell phone towers everywhere you go. But
nuts. I don't even think about that stuff.
With talking to Gene a couple years ago, I think that's the first time when we were probably
especially down in Alabama.
Yeah.
Especially down in Alabama.
But that was my thought too, because I've seen a lot of people start, doing that now too. And, it's like I made like a 9-hour video that was one video of every video I'd ever made. And my intention was to run that video overnight, like every night, just to give everybody a place to go chat.
Yeah.
Like they're doing now.
Yep.
Like it was alive. So I'll probably get back to doing that just to give people a spot, because we're a chatty bunch of them. We'll sit in anybody's live stream and chat.
That's
so
true.
Part of me is like, you know what? I'm going to rerun those videos over and over and over again.
Actually.
And I'll run it as a premiere.
Yeah.
Just to give people some place to come chit chat if there's nothing else going on.
And just run like an 8. Wow. Honestly, I don't even think I have all my videos in one spot. I think I deleted them all once I post them.
It's funny because I think I did it last year after I went offline, and I had it scheduled, and it actually ran, and people sat in there and chatted while it was on, and I was like, oh, that was kind of funny. But I've seen guys go live while they're making baits, tuning baits, just doing. I did that last year where I was like working out in the garage on shit. I just go live so people would have some place to come hang out, because we're a bunch of chatty mofos who like to hop in the chat and chit chat. Don't matter who's live or not, just gives us something to talk.
As long as we're there. That's a fact.
Yep. But that being said, I'm wore out. I need to go wind down and study for another hour.
No
I think
problem.
my Braves should be actually the Braves have been playing for a little bit. Got to go watch me some baseball. Did you watch that Duke and UConn game last night?
Yep. Scared money don't make no money. Guess what? I didn't do it.
Man.
I didn't do it. I was looking at it and it was like I was looking at DraftKings. I was like, let me just see what it looks like. So I play basketball.
Can you imagine
myself.
the guy who made a bet at halftime on UConn coming back?
I didn't push the button. I didn't push the button, bro. It was a $100 bet to win like $550. And I was looking at it. It was like 8 or 9 minutes left. They were down 14. And the only reason I even thought about it is because they put up the stats. And they put it up 3 possessions in a row. 1 for 18 for 3, or 1 for 16 from 3, 1 for 17 from 3, 1 for 18. And I was like, they're down 14. They're going to hit like 3 threes in a row now because they keep talking about that they can't hit a 3. They're going to hit like 3 threes in a row and it's going to be a ball game.
Yeah.
What happened?
I mean, I honestly, I couldn't have made that bet either because, I mean, it's Duke, the Boozer brothers.
That's why I was like, I couldn't do it. But, and then of course, I was watching it. I was watching it at my job. My other job's a restaurant. And I literally jumped up, screamed, "Oh my God!" and ran out the restaurant because it's a side door. And I ran out and I was like,
every time my wife walks in with her phone, and she knows I'm watching the games, because she's like, she knows I'm half paying attention to it until like the last 2 minutes, unless it's just, 1-point game the whole way. But I always have them on because it's like I told her, I said, realistically in March, the only reason why I watch is for the last minute of the game if it's close.
Crazy happens.
Just because you never know. So she walks in the night that Kentucky, who was it, Kentucky and Saint whoever, when the dude hit the thing and then Kentucky hit that bomb from half court to win it. And then she walks in last night, I swear, with like 43 seconds left. Oh, hey, look. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. And then it went down.
As soon as he jumped past and the ball got tipped, I stood up and I said, March Madness, here we go.
Yep.
And then they passed the ball to the right and the ball goes up in the air and I was like, oh my. I knew it.
Like, dude.
I knew it. I'm
like, dude,
sorry.
Just stand there and hold the ball. You got a 10-second call and there's only 7 seconds left. All he had to do was hold the ball. But he tried to throw it to one of the 2 open guys, and history was made. I mean, I did not realize that Christian Laettner hit the shot on UConn back in the day.
Wow. History just repeated itself. Payback.
The other way around.
The basketball gods. That's the basketball gods.
Yep. Turnabout's fair play. But yeah, I love me some hoops. But oh man. All right, brother, man.
Yes, sir.
It's been fun talking to you.
Yeah, I'm going live in like 2 minutes. So.
Oh yeah, let me shut up and I'll go hop in the chat.
You're good. You're good. Don't worry.
I got you.
I'm always late anyway.
Yep, there we go.
So
all right, everybody. Thanks for hopping in tonight. Next Monday, 7:30 Eastern Time. Michael Ridenhour going to talk about his bass fishing tournament at the Bassmaster Kayak Classic Championship. And we're going to do a recap all again.
Yes, sir.
Until next time, get outside when you can and make some memories. Oh, I got some of that last weekend. Get out there and make those memories one cast at a time.
Deuces.